acquisitions has definitely paid off a little bit for Mark Benioff, maybe by $2 billion, because that's what he saved by waiting a little bit.
That's real money.
For sure. Carol mentioned that it's a done deal, but actually it still needs regulatory approval, so nothing is certain in that respect. We'll keep following it. Analysts are saying there's some overlap in what the company, what Informatica does with what Salesforce owns, so that's something to keep an eye on over the next few months.
Is there real risk there when it comes to this administration's regulatory? I mean, look what's happened with media M&A. For example, I think it was last week or even the week before that Verizon deal was able to close after Verizon scrubbed the DEI stuff from its company. They were able to get Frontier. Is that an issue with a deal such as this? Is it going to get political? In
this environment, it's just so unpredictable. It's hard to say what deals are getting done because they're, so different than traditionally what antitrust authorities have looked at. But we do know there is some overlap, so we, need to take that seriously. I'm not sure what Mark Benioff's relationship is with the administration. These are all big questions.
So they've been working on this for over a year and then some, maybe finally get everybody to say, let's do this. And yet there's still some major obstacles. Or is there?
We can't say at this point. We don't have the reporting, but I have noticed that some research analysts are saying, hey, look at this overlap. Salesforce owns a company called MuleSoft that they bought a couple years ago. It was also a large acquisition for them, and apparently there is some overlap with Informatica. These companies are kind of like in the guts of, data management, and from what I understand, they're kind of the picks and shovels of AI, things that are very important that are happening in the background under the surface that, help with the adoption of AI. So that's why this is important for Salesforce.
I mean, yet the stock, if I look at Informatica, right, it was up, 28% at its highs on Friday, finished the day up about 17%. It's right now up another 6.5%. It's trading at 24 and change. So it's not like investors are hammering it and saying, wait, we don't think this is going to happen.
That's a great point. But it's still trading below the 25 a share.
About $1 or so. Why does Salesforce want to do this?
Right. So I think it's back to what I was saying about the picks and shovels play on AI. Salesforce has rolled out sort of an agent force. It's their AI agent business. And from what I've read, this Informatica product could help power that. And Salesforce is looking for some inorganic growth to help, help the adoption of that, which there's a lot you have to do with the data to clean it up before you roll it out to your customers. So I'm sure there's a strategy behind this, but it is tricky when we're dealing with these companies that are more, B2B in the guts of technology.
Totally.
It's been around a long time, Informatica.
Salesforce is a really acquisitive company. I mean, you mentioned MuleSoft, but Slack is one of the companies that it acquired in recent years. It bought Tableau as well. Demandware is another one. I mean, the list goes on and on. What exactly is Salesforce trying to become through buying all of these companies?
Mark Benioff has always loved acquisitions. He had to pump the brakes for a year or two. There was a swarm of activist investors, you might recall, that were saying, hey, wait a second, let's maybe slow down some of these deals. Maybe they didn't all fit together. We also broke in the last fall, Salesforce did something called Owen or Own Backup, an Israeli company that it bought for $1.9 billion. So they had been doing tuck-in acquisitions, but I'd say this is sort of Benioff's return to the bigger ticket items. Obviously not as big as Slack, as you mentioned, but it's up there, not as big as Tableau, but definitely one of the largest lately. And it seems like the appetite's there and shareholders don't seem to mind it.